No, my dude, you don't know what you're talking about. You shouldn't even read Jeremiah 31. You don't even understand it. That's in the last days, and that's being quoted in Hebrews 8. And in Hebrews 8, since it's quoting Jeremiah 31, let me go and show you. Where's Hebrews? So I'm going to jump down to Hebrews 8:6. But now hath he obtained a more excellent ministry, by how much also he is the mediator of a better covenant, which was established upon better promises. For the first covenant had been faultless. All right, that first covenant was faultless because of us. God wasn't at fault, right? Israel broke the Ten Commandments. Israel is a Christian church, but only if they abide in the tree. If they don't, they get cut out because they've been grafted in. All right, so they've been grafted into the olive tree, which is Yeshua. So they're Israel now. But he cut off those natural branches. So if you don't stay and abide and you boast against the natural branches by doing what got them kicked out of the land in 2 Kings 17, which was idolatry, spiritual adultery, that's worshiping an Astaroth pole, which is your Christmas tree, which Jeremiah 10 is what's talking about being born again, getting rid of your idols, getting rid of your Christmas tree, getting that adulteries from between your breasts, like Hosea says, that stupid cross, pagan cross nonsense that you Christians wear, that's your golden calf. Right? You will make no image to worship God. All right? Doesn't mean that you're bowing down and worshiping that tree. He doesn't want anything. He doesn't want your holidays. He doesn't want your feast days. He doesn't want any celebration in him. All right? He gave you certain things to do, and he took them away as a punishment. Now you're in a land of lamentation, mourning, and woe. All right? You're in the generation of God's wrath, and you're supposed to be warning these people. All right? Not sitting here making up lies with smiley faces with sunglasses, acting like you said something witty because you didn't. What you said was fucking stupid. You know why? Because you have the spirit of stupid. 1 John 4:6. So there is no different covenant. All right. You're under grace's conviction of God. So for finding fault with them, he said, for finding fault with them. All right. He saith, behold, the days come, saith Jehovah, when I will make a new covenant, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. I guess you didn't read that because he's quoting Jeremiah 31 right there. Not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day when I took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt, because they continued not in my covenant, and I regarded them not, saith Jehovah. This is where they received the sacrificial law placed on the side of the ark until it is finished. Guess what Yeshua said? It is finished. That was placed on the side of the ark, not inside like the Ten Commandments. The only thing in the ark of the covenant was the Ten Commandments. You can find this in multiple places in the Bible. And Israel was scattered into the Gentiles. Not the two southern kingdom, which is in the land that Judea now, which they call Israel, which is Judah and Benjamin. There's 10 other tribes that were scattered in the Gentiles. Israel is not just Judah, all right? There's 12 tribes, all right? Not according to the covenant. No, this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, after the last days. Saith the Lord. This is what Jeremiah 31 is about, is the last days. I will put my laws in their mind and write them in their hearts, and I will be to them a God, and they shall be my people. A people that were not a people are going to be his people again because they were divorced from God. Jeremiah 3 tells you he gave them a bill of divorce. So you can also find this in Romans 9, and it's quoting Hosea 1 and 2, right? Just read 1 and 2. It's quoting Hosea 1, but... And I will write them in their hearts, I will be in God, they shall be my people. And they shall not teach every man his neighbor and every man his brother. Same language in Jeremiah 31, which you're trying to quote me. Apparently, people are still teaching people the gospel still, right? Does all men know him? Does every man not have to teach his neighbor? Saying, know Jehovah, for all shall know me from the least to the greatest. Do all from the least to the greatest know him? You know what know him means? Let's go to 1 John 2:3 real quick. We're going to jump back. Well, let me finish reading this and I'll show you. For I will be merciful to their unrighteousness, breaking the Ten Commandments, and their sins and their iniquities, lawlessness, breaking the Ten Commandments again, will I remember no more. All right? Apparently he still remembers our sins. And that he saith, a new covenant, he hath made the first old. First covenant will be old. Now that which decayeth and waxeth old is ready to vanish away. This was after the Messiah passed away. It still didn't vanish away. So the Messiah didn't do away with it. It's ready to vanish away. So, what did I just say I was going to show you? Oh, yeah. Oh, how do you know God? Well, he tells you in 1 John 2:3. You see, you have to read line upon line, precept upon precept. This Bible is of no private interpretation. It defines itself. So 1 John 2. And hereby we do know that we know him if we keep his commandments. That's how you know him. This is how we do know that we know him, if we keep his commandments. Pretty simple. He that saith, I know him, and keepeth not his commandments is a liar. That's you. and the truth is not in him. What truth is not in him? How's truth in him? Right? Well, that's the spirit of truth, the second comforter given in John 14, because what grace that you're talking about is the first comforter. I'm going to go there in a second. He that saith he abide in him, also ought himself also to walk even as he walked. Brethren, I write no new commandment unto you. Oh, this isn't a new commandment you're talking about. This is the old commandment. Love God and love your neighbor. The first 5 is love God. The last 5 is love your neighbor. 10 commandments. Because thou shalt not kill. Well, that's against your neighbor. Thou shalt not steal. Who are you going to steal from? Your neighbor, right? Come on. And then I'm not going to read the rest of this, but he goes on to talking about loving your brother, right? Loving your neighbor. You must love your neighbor, which is teaching them the 10 commandments. And if you see them break it so they don't die, you rebuke them, and you rebuke them sharply. And Titus tells you that, which is what you're talking about, grace. So let's go to Titus so I can explain grace to you, because it's not what you think. For the grace of God that bringeth salvation hath appeared to all men. All men. All men. Everybody has seen the Spirit of grace. Teaching us, the Spirit of grace teaches us something. It's not just unmerited favor that we can keep sinning. Denying ungodliness and worldly lusts. Worldly lusts, that's your Christmas tree. This is what the Bible's about, is all idolatry. Almost the whole Bible talks about idolatry. It's a sin that leads to death, and he tells you not to even pray for those people. You bring a Christmas tree in your house, you cause demons and sin to abound in the world, right? Because these are old pagan gods that they're worshiping. This is child sacrifice rituals, right? And you're giving your children gifts on child sacrifice ritual day. That's how stupid you are. Who we should live soberly. You might want to go read Isaiah 28 and 29. Just read all of Isaiah, man. That whole book's about the end days. It's about all of you guys, about what's about to happen to you. It's pretty scary. Soberly, woe to the crown of pride of the drunkards of Ephraim. This is the drunken Christian church on Pride that says stupid things in people's comments, right? They teach each other lies. They sit there and they listen to their pastors instead of reading the Bible line upon line, go and searching these matters out like a Berean, because the Bereans were more noble than the Thessalonians, because they searched all these matters out daily, right? So, woe to the crown of pride of the drunken Christian church. Righteously, what's God's righteousness? Well, let's jump to Deuteronomy 6, because he tells you, Deuteronomy 6:25, you're not righteous, because none of us are righteous, no, not one. But who's righteous? And Jehovah commanded us to do all these statutes, to fear Jehovah our God for our good always, that he might preserve us alive as it is at this day. And it shall be our righteousness if we observe to do all these commandments before Jehovah our God that he commanded us. Oh, so it'll be counted as your righteousness if you do God's righteousness, which is the 10 commandments. This is what he's talking about here. Back to Titus. Teaching us that we should live soberly, righteously, and godly in this present world, looking for the blessed hope and the glorious appearing of the Lord, of the great God and our Savior, Yeshua Messiah. Not hippie Christmas Jesus. Just because you see the word Jesus Christ, it even says it in my Bible, you got to read past that, because all you got to do is do a word search. You know that Jesus is a non-existent word, right? And he tells you in Jeremiah 23, my people will forget my name for Baal, right? And that they will blaspheme my name amongst the Gentiles. Who's doing that? The Christian church. And he tells you, I know you don't have the love of God in you. What's the love of God? 1 John 5, 2 and 3. Since you don't have the love of God in you, I will come in my Father's name, and you won't receive me, but you will receive the one who comes in his own name, doctrine, and authority. That's like free grace gospel, right? Because you guys read Ephesians 2, 8, and 9 and stop there, which is retarded, because the rest of it talks about the grafting in and that you got to do the good works. He even tells you got to do the good works here. Who gave himself for us. What did he give himself for us for? That he might redeem us from all iniquity. He'll redeem us from all lawlessness. And purify unto himself a peculiar people. Oh, well, that's Exodus 19. You might want to go read that, because what do his peculiar people do? Keep the 10 commandments. That's how he knows you are his. And that's including the sign and seal of the Sabbath. Zealous of good works. No, that's Ephesians 2:10 right there. He wants his people to do good works. Just do a word search on good works, right? And read all those chapters. These things speak and exhort, loving your neighbor, and rebuke, loving your neighbor, with all authority. Let no man despise thee. He's telling you to get to work. Do the good works. Not your own works, all right? Not your self-works, not the dead works of the sacrificial law. Not the works of your own hands, like donating to your church of Satan, right? Donating to hippie Christmas Jesus and his lying wolf pastors that are about to die, right? Well-deserved, in my opinion. So this is what's coming down, man. These guys are going to pay, and they're going to pay for lying to you guys. But you guys aren't victims either, because you love to have it so.